The next function on our course that we can be asked to differentiate is the exponential function. And on page 25 of our log tables, we're shown how to differentiate e to the power of x, which is our exponential function. It differentiates to e to the power of x, and e to the power of ax, where a is a number, will go to ae to the power of ax. Okay, so what we have is e to the power of x is just going to differentiate to e to the power of x. It's the only function in our course which stays the same when it's differentiated. E to the power of 4x, well, that's like e to the power of ax, and we know from our log tables that that's going to go to 4e to the power of 4x. Okay, same here with e to the power minus 5x. Minus 5 is the a part of the function, so that's going to go to minus 5e to the power minus 5x. Okay, then when we get something like e to the power of 3x squared, okay, this is where our log tables will help us to an extent, but we need to know the chain rule with exponential functions. So e to the power 3x squared will go to e to the power 3x squared, but then I need to differentiate the 3x squared, and 3x squared will differentiate to 6x. So my final answer is going to be 6x e to the power of 3x squared. Okay. E to the power sine squared of x, again, my derivative is going to be e to the power of sine squared of x, and then I need to differentiate sine squared of x, and that's going to go to 2 sine of x cos of x by 1. Okay, so then I'm going to have my final answer is going to be 2 sine of x cos of x e to the power sine squared of x. Okay, if you're unsure how I got this answer, it's in a previous video on how to differentiate functions on the Lebensart higher level course. Okay, so again, you must remember that when you're dealt with anything e to the power of anything other than just x or a number by x, you must write down the function. The function will always be part of your derivative. Write down the function, it'll be part of your derivative, and then differentiate the power. So function and then derivative of power. Okay, so here we're going to have function and then derivative of power. So we'll have minus 3 e to the power minus 3x. Okay, so here you have a combination of them again. This one is one I particularly want to do with you because this is one which has come up before and which has really thrown students. Okay, what we need to bear in mind with a question like this is that I can also write e to the power of x over 2 as e to the power of a half of x. Okay, so that means when I go to differentiate, it's going to be my function by the derivative of my function, which is just going to be a half, because a half of x differentiated is just going to be a half. So my final answer will be a half of e to the power of x over 2, or you can put e to the power of x over 2 on top, all over 2. Okay, so these are two similar ones which you could then practice. And you have one with a rational power as well here. So remember, before you do this one, you must change it to e to the power of x to the power of a half. Okay, so your derivative is going to be e to the power of x to the power of a half, because your function will always be part of your derivative. But then you must differentiate your power, which is x to the power of a half. So it's going to go to a half x to the power minus a half. Okay, so you're going to have e to the power of x to the power of a half by 1 over 2 by 1 over x to the power of a half, because x to the power minus a half will go to 1 over x to the power of a half, and that's going to go to e to the power of a half x to the power 2, or x to the power of a half, by 1 over 2x to the power of a half. And remember, at Lebensart high level, you cannot finish an answer with a power of a half, so it's going to go to e to the power of root x by 1 over 2 root x. And finally, you can put e to the power of root x on top, all over 2 root x. Okay, so definitely ones where the power is a rational power will be the ones that will take the most steps. Okay, so again, if you want this worksheet to practice these, just email smileymaths@gmail.com to subscribe, and both the worksheet and the solutions will be sent out to you.